Well, Jeff, Pope Francis, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, those are just some of the people who earned the title of Person of the Year. Time makes its decision based on who had the biggest impact, for better or for worse. This year, it can be a person or a group. Last year, the magazine's editors chose the Silence Breakers, the women who spoke up about sexual harassment and assault that sparked the Me Too movement. Today, Time editors release the movers and shakers who made this year's shortlist. But before I reveal the names, go to 11alive.com/vote right now to answer our poll questions below. Okay, so here's the list. It includes President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, both previous honorees. South Korean President Moon Jae-in, Separated Families, which is about the battle over immigration that dominated discussion in 2018. Special Counsel Robert Mueller, Christine Blasey Ford, the woman who accused then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault, Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther, March for Our Lives activist, slain Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. Now let's take a look at the results of our 11 Alive poll. We chose the top 4 based on rankings from both editors and readers who weighed in on a Time survey. And it looks like you guys are all saying Christine Blasey Ford should be named the 2018 Person of the Year. The winner will be announced tomorrow morning on the Today Show.
All right, we will see how it goes. Ashley, thank you very much. We'll take